Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, I guess, a Geek for Thought Bubbles. It's been a while. I did not plan this one at all. I'm Travis Snell, but I did not plan at all. I'm not some fucking freak that wears red and green, but my hair is a mess. Self promotion, I guess. So I wanted to jump on the horn because one thing, we don't have a newscast this week. Taylor's reviewing Transformers, so that should be fun for him, I guess. Don't see that movie. But if you do, check out Taylor's review. But we will not have a newscast until I think sometime next week, so it'll be a little while. So I want to talk about this. Excuse me. I've not done a thought bubbles, which is just usually me ranting about something, and I think, not counting movie reviews, 100% of the time it's been about comic oriented things, mostly DC. But I want to talk about this quickly because I like to talk, I guess, yeah. And no, because I have a lot of thoughts because sometimes with thought bubbles, the thing I like the most is it's kind of cathartic. There we go. Kind of cathartic. Oh, look at that nice, clear voice. It's kind of cathartic to get it out there, get your thoughts out there, and hear myself speak and think about all the scenarios, because when you play in your head, it's kind of weird. So this is a kind of a therapy session for myself because this is super strange. So I'll start with the daddling. Star Wars, and I'm reading from Variety.com. Star Wars Han Solo film loses directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Yeesh. Okay, so to give you a quick rundown, just even my quick rundown of Star Wars, again, don't know anything about me. Love the original trilogy. Prequel trilogy can go away. Loved Force Awakens. I get it's a cover. Oops, sorry, Mike. I get it's a cover song. Everyone says that. I liked it. I still think they did some new things differently. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Rogue One. I liked it enough, but I was kind of disappointed with it. Didn't really like it. Well, I liked it, but it was just like, oh yeah, okay. I don't know if I need to see this movie, but it was fine for the movie it was. When they announced Han Solo, that was a movie that even more so than Rogue One. One, I'm not a big prequel guy, not just Star Wars prequel, just prequels in general. I could probably, maybe there's a list of 10 I could tell you that are good prequels, maybe even 5 that I think are like great or on par with the originals. So I'm always like, I don't really care. When they announced Han Solo, I'm like, I don't really need to see more about Han Solo. And the biggest thing was, it's just, I've seen Han Solo about, 5 years after this, so I've seen Harrison Ford play Han Solo. I've seen, I think, the perfect edition of Han Solo. If this was 20 years later and like, hey, we're rebooting A New Hope, we're starting over, then okay, I kind of get it because it's a new thing. But this is in the same continuity, it's just something to do with like the look wise and everything like that. So this is strange. This is really fucking strange. So I'm just gonna read you the what Variety has here. The statement. It's super weird. And now I'm very, very concerned. Of course, this is not a hot take. Everyone is going to go, is Han Solo in trouble? Or should we be concerned? Yeah, you should be concerned. I think Disney at the end of the day will make a movie that's safe enough. We'll talk about with Rogue One quickly, but that had a lot of problems. But, it still ended up being, a fine movie. I couldn't look at it and say it's a bad movie. It's just like, okay, yeah, it's good. It's a safe movie. That's exactly what it is. And I feel like they can do that with this, but I don't want just safe Star Wars movies, so this was Kathleen Kennedy. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are talented filmmakers who have assembled an incredible cast and crew, but it's become clear that we have different creative visions on this film. We've decided to part ways. A new director will be announced soon, said Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm, on the official Star Wars website. Unfortunately, our vision and process weren't aligned with our partners on this project. We're normally not aren't fans of the phrase, and it's in quotations, creative differences, but for once the cliche is true. We are really proud of the amazing work and world class work of our cast and crew, added Phil and Christopher Miller. Or Phil or Christopher Miller, they're not a couple. These are just some little facts here. Film started shooting in February. Lens Pinewood Studios with Alden Ehrenreich starring. Let's see. The film is still in production with several weeks, which I've heard 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago, roughly around that, and reshoots planned for the summer. Okay, let's start with the first two comments. That is very, very strange because all the time we hear, oh, scheduling conflicts, and that's all we hear. A bunch of, there's probably 5 excuses: scheduling conflicts, busy with the last project, gonna take some time off, might work together in the future. There's a list of examples that you could say, oh, this is what is said or used if there is creative difference happening. scheduling conflicts is always that. You hear that and you're like, okay, they're really not getting along, or they have different visions. Them coming just flat out and saying creative differences, this is strange, because this is the same thing I've given DC and Warner Brothers crap for with Flash, and it's just like, you'll say something like that, like, oh, creative differences, we have different visions, and it's like, with Flash, it's different, because that's before the movie starts, so they get a pass, but even then, it's like, okay, for weeks and weeks, these people have been together, like, I know nothing about Hollywood. I just know grapevines and whatnot. But you'd think in a perfect world, and take Warner Brothers out, because they've had some problems in the past. I think they're finding their footing now, but they've had some problems. Disney's a fucking well-oiled machine. For them to sit down and have a meeting with somebody, I feel like that person is getting that gig or getting that movie, getting that show, whatever it may be, if Disney is 110% trusting that this person can execute their vision. Because yes, Marvel and the Star Wars films, I believe, are kind of made by a committee, and I think that can be a good thing and a bad thing. I think with Rogue One it wasn't the greatest thing, but with Force Awakens it was, and Feige does the same. You know, he brings in people who equate him like a showrunner, and he brings in people to direct his episodes, and it works, and that's fine. They've made lots of money. But there's always this sense of, hey, and talking from the Marvel's perspective, like, hey, you're going to come in, this is what we have planned. Can you follow it? You know, and you can add a little sprinkle of yourself in there. And I feel like that does happen with most Marvel films, that, yeah, generally they have a template, but you can see, like, James Gunn with Guardians, you know, or Joss Whedon. Like, obviously that tone was set, but, like, I feel like it's like, you're making the Marvel film, here are the tools, you can do different stuff with the tools, just use those tools. Don't go in that other toolbox, don't go to little Jimmy's toolbox, like, use what you're using, or use what we've given you. And I always felt like, with Disney and Marvel, it's been like, we sit down, we have that conversation, oh, yada, 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 we're on, okay, break. And they go off, they make their movie. And the directors usually know, oh, I'm not going to take this in some crazy route, or one day just be like, yeah, I'm going to kill off, I don't know, Chewbacca's son, you know, I'm going to add a fan, like, that's what I mean, like, it's not going to be, there's going to be a path. And I feel like, it's like you're about to go on a hike with a guide, and it's like, you had agreements that I'm going to go here, or sorry, we're going to start here, and we're going to go there. And then all of a sudden, it's like the guy on the path is like, no, we're going to go this way. And you're like, this is strange. Disney's always been the guy that locks down the path guide, the great path guide. We're going this way. Let's go. This is super fucking weird. And especially too with Rogue One, all those rumors. If you like Rogue One, great. But at the end of the day, a lot was reshot. I think, what was the buzzword was like 45, 55% or something like that. Who knows? But you just gotta go off hearsay, because, you know, it's fun. It's a fucking podcast. It's speculation. That's what we do. So it is strange that something like that happened with Rogue One. And honestly, I just thought that's a one-time thing, because Disney doesn't screw up. For this to happen, they've been shooting since fucking February, March, April, May, June. 5 months, and with 3 weeks left to go. Like, who do they bring in? Like, I imagine they just maybe bring in a shooter, but, like, to finish it off. But then at the same time, if Lord Miller had such creative differences that they had to leave this project, what does that say about the 5 months that they've shot? You know, like, what does that say? Like, and how much is that going to be left? Like, even though it says they have reshoots planned in the summer, which is coming up, obviously, and then the 3 weeks left, I feel like that's going to be extended and be a lot longer, because it's strange. If this was even a month in, it would still be weird, but you kind of be, okay, you can go along, you know. And even look at the Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder situation, where it's tragedy happened. Hey, we're bringing in Whedon just to finish some stuff up. He's going to punch a couple scenes up. He's going to add some stuff and do some reshoots. And that pretty much just sounds like, okay, Zack made the meal, and Whedon's going to, you know, do the garnish and lay it out. He's gonna set the table, and he's gonna make the food. If you ever watch the show Hannibal, like, make it look all cool with decorations, like, that's what Whedon's gonna do. He's gonna add those scenes. He's gonna edit it. He's gonna, you know, do little things like add Danny Elfman as a composer. Obviously, Lord Miller don't do any of that now, and that's what. It's so strange to be 5 months into shooting and all of a sudden just break up. You know, it is. I don't know. It's just kind of like, let's say, this is another strange analogy. It's just off the top of my head. You've been dating somebody for 5 months, and you move in, and then right away you move. No, you know what? That doesn't even make sense. I don't even know why. I'm trying to think of an analogy for this, but it's It's super strange. It's super weird too. I guess that I can go back to the relationship thing. You've been together 5 months. You've moved in, and it's okay. You've moved in. I think I got it. Been together for 5 months. Last month's coming. You're about to move in. That equates to, oh, they're about to finish the film. Right when you move in, you know, you're there for 3 weeks and you're like, you know what, this was a bad idea. I think I'm gonna bounce. I think I'm gonna leave. And that's why, who knows if this is a Disney thing saying, hey, like, we want you guys out, if this is a them thing saying, hey, this is not what we wanted. It's so strange 5 months in, because you would feel like that's your film is ready to go. Not ready to be released, but the big scenes are filmed, the plot and the story is mapped out. You have your cast crew, like, they've done so much, and then it's even stuff like when this movie releases. I guess, do they get, like, what is the credit when it's like directed by? Is it the new director and Lord and Miller? Is it just that guy, and then like an assist down the line, or a co-producer? Like, this makes it very strange. Rogue One was strange already, but that was like, hey, big reshoots, we're changing the film, and yes, there was rumors that Tony Gilroy came on and maybe helped with some directing and whatnot, but at the end of the day, Gareth Edwards was still there, and he was there for the press tour, and they talked about how great of a director he is and a guy he was, and they stuck it out, so maybe there could have been problems, but they stuck it out together, very much like David Ayer on Suicide Squad, where it's like, sound like there were some problems, sound like he didn't get to make the film he truly wanted, but he stuck it out, and they did the whole tour. This is really strange that they did not stick out, even if we heard rumblings of like, hey, there's some scheduling conflicts, or the classic something's up, so there's gonna be somebody come in to help them just finish it off, or do some editing. But this creative differences, and that's my thing. I just don't know what. So, okay, so the only scenario I can play, so they get there, and they start directing. They've been doing it for 5 months and whatnot. The only thing I could honestly think is maybe the tone of the film. You could take a film like BVS and you could shoot it one way and you shoot it another way, which sounds strange. You could have Zack Snyder shoot BVS and you could have Joss Whedon shoot BVS. I'm using an example because it's current. Those movies are going to be very, very different. And let's say hey, you can't change the script. Okay. You can add 10 lines in each script, so Whedon can add some quips if you want it. But you can change little variations. But at the end of the day, the story is, we're introducing Batman. This is Clark's story. They're going to fight. Luthor comes in, Doomsday, the whole thing. Like, story from point A to point B, that's not changing. You can change a few dialogues. You can maybe change a little scene here and there, but that's about it. The tone of those films would be very different. And I'm wondering if they said, hey, we want to make this movie, and they're making the movie, this is the story, okay, let's go. And as they're reeling down, Lucasfilm and Star Wars and Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are seeing what they're doing, are seeing what their plan is. And who knows, I would imagine they would want a more family-friendly, kind of a fun adventure, quippy sort of thing. And I have no idea. This is legitimately just I'm fishing. I'm really fishing because it's super strange. I'm fishing. So let's say they had that script, Lord Miller went off and make it. They come back and they're like, hey, this is the movie we've shot, this is the movie we want to make, and they've talked about editing and the tone, and maybe it's a bit more adult, and maybe it's older. I'm not saying that fucking Han Solo's, having a rated R sex scene. I just mean that it's more of a grittier tone and more of a less, hey, bring your kids along and have a fun family adventure, That's it's probably not going to be it. Over the next few months, this movie comes out next May, I think it is, there's going to be so much rumors and so much speculation, and man, this fucking sucks for the press tour. I said the same thing about Ben Affleck when he dropped out of Batman. I think the good thing with that is Ben Affleck not directing Batman is going to have some time. Matt Reeves is in, phenomenal director, and it's not coming, like, the rumors are just 2019, so there'll be a nice breath from when Ben Affleck dropped to Batman. This isn't a year. In that whole year, less than a year, we're going to hear all these rumors and all these speculations, and people are going to be hitting Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms. Lord Miller are going to get hit in interviews. It's to me, it has to be something really crucial, and like I said, something about the tone or something of choice, something major choice in the film. That's why I think it's a tone thing of they want to make it. But that is, for me, it's even strange because Lord Miller can make something like the Lego Movie that is very family friendly and kind of childish at times and lighthearted, but it has dramatic moments. It has a family message, and like it has a, you know, a feel good message, not a family message. And to me, when I was like, Han Solo, but I heard Lord Miller, like, that is perfect. Like, they, to me, the way Disney wants to make Star Wars movies right now, they feel like a perfect fit. So don't kid yourself. They're already saying creative differences, but there's gonna be a lot of rumors. This has to be something huge for them not to stick it out. Like I said, for 3 weeks, not for them to be like, hey, we're really frustrated with this, but let's try and finish this film and, you know, make the best one possible. Or even to come to the agreement, like I said, of like, hey, can you guys just say attached? You know, like I said, there's rumors about the Rogue One. There's years of rumors, legend that Steven Spielberg helped direct Return of the Jedi. Never been confirmed, and his name ain't on the fucking credits. So, very strange. I had to get on the horn here because I had to blurt that all out, and yeah, it is. I don't know. I would imagine either they'll get a shooter, like I said, or someone like a Tony Gilroy. Maybe they'll just get Tony Gilroy, someone very experienced to come in. But for people like myself and people like Liam, who, cheap plug, go check out our last Dynamic Duo. We did a bunch of great news, and even Kyle to extent, I think, and even other people I've talked to that are like, yeah, Han Solo, this does not help. This does not help at all, because not only was it, hey, you had two great directors in Lord Miller who are on a roll. This is big, you know, and this is the thing. It's not the Zack Snyder thing, and before anyone says it, because that was a tragedy, and that goes, you know what, this makes sense. He has to lead the project. This is his choice. This is what's best for him. If something had happened, I honestly thought when I got the notification on my phone, I thought that's what it was going to be. I thought someone passed away or was something life circumstances. I'm like, okay, this fucking sucks again, but there's no way they've been filming this long and it's just gonna step away. And then when I started reading the creative differences, that's nuts. This film has a big climb now. This has a big uphill climb. Like, it has multiple hills it has to get over now, because this is gonna be the black sheep of the family until it comes out and blows people away, you know. And then even then, if anybody doesn't like this movie, lots of people, they're gonna be like, man, what would have been Lord Miller's like, you know. It's like I'd have to really look into it and think, other than something like a Snyder situation where a tragedy happened, just appear someone left right in the middle, and it was reported. There's always been rumors around Hollywood of, like I said, Return of the Jedi, V for Vendetta, things like that. But for it to be reported and not even to play ball and like, hey, you know, they're not gonna edit this, they're not gonna, you know, they're not gonna be in charge of the final cut, but we're still gonna say Lord Miller did this because it looks good on us, and we'll get an answer 20 years from now, to be honest, unless Lord Miller really frank. But with the statement they put out, joint statement, you're going to hear rumors, which will be exciting, because something like this, it has to be something big. It honestly has. It cannot be. I guess it's two things. It can't be just over one little thing, so it has to be big, or it has to be a long term, like this has been building up since they started. And if this has been building up since they started, why did they create this partnership? You know, I feel like after 5 months, once again, back to the dating someone, you kind of get the sense of where this is going. Is this person just, you know, someone you're hooking up with? Is this someone for fun? Is this someone you can see a future with? And I guess maybe this is it. But when you're making a film that is millions of dollars and has huge stake in things like Disney stockholders and shareholders and things like that, you don't want to wait 5 months. A relationship you can, because you know what? You can break off, give the high five, hey, good life, you have a good life, cool. This is much different, and this is very strange, and this is because there's a lot of people that don't like Disney having Star Wars, and this is another kind of notch on their belt of why has these spin-offs had problems, you know. Rogue One, all the stuff reshot, and we hear rumblings of maybe it was too dark, this and that. This will hear some rumblings, but it's another one. So why are these anthology spin-off films having such a hard time just coming out? You know, it's very much, it's kind of the reverse, where DC, you heard all these rumors about BVS and Squad and even Wonder Woman to an extent. But it was the reverse of Aquaman's chugging along. They're getting made. It's fine. They're shooting. No rumors. Nothing negative. James Wan's making hopefully a fucking great film, and they're going. This is the reverse, where all the anthology films are just like, yeah, they're going. This is our plan. Or sorry, the saga films are all just chugging along going. But this is twice now. So this make me a little gun shy. And even then, if you go back, it's very minor. And we know the reasons, but look at Josh Trank, they've said this year that they were going to announce a Boba Fett movie a few years ago. They had a fucking teaser graphic ready for it, and they pulled the trigger, or they pulled the They pulled it last second. I don't know why Trigger came in my head. I don't know. But they pulled it out from under the rug very quickly and just, nope, we're not making it. And so it's strange that the spin-off anthology films have had a problem kind of coming to completion with no problems. And I thought this was going to be one because shooting since February, I hadn't heard anything. Like, it'd be different if we had heard rumors and then this happened, but this is just out of nowhere. Let me know what you think, because I would love to hear what you guys think. Anybody that watches, please, if you enjoyed me rambling on, like I said, this cathartic moment for hopefully you as well, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We have lots of good stuff coming. Lots of good reviews coming up. Our 2-year anniversary episodes coming up. We got Gauntlet, which is a gaming tournament. We got, like I said, Transformers coming out. A review, Netflix and Fail, Spider-Man Retrospective. Lots of good stuff. Head over to our Patreon supporters. We got lots of good exclusive early content over there. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Are you still excited for this? Are you worried? My favorite thing, if you have any theories, let me know. Don't not joking theories, not like Marvel's paid off by critics. If you have something, I want to hear it below, because I'm racking my brain with all these things and I'm trying to think what could be the thing. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm not sure when you'll hear from me next, but I promise you it'll not be boring. Yeesh.